So today I had home health with Mercy Home Health, and we went to 6 different patients' houses, which was interesting. I was kind of nervous that I would feel uncomfortable walking into a stranger's home, but actually it wasn't that bad. The first patient we saw was a new patient who needed lab work. So the nurse took just basic vitals and then drew her labs. And then we went to another house that he needed his wound looked at on his finger. The nurse saw how good the wound was healing, so then she was like, okay, well, I think your wound is actually healing really well. Like, do you have any complaints? And he was like, no, like, I think I'm good. And so she actually ended up discharging him from home health. And then after we saw him, we went to Mercy Medical Center where we dropped off the lab work for the other patient. Then we went to another patient that needed a wound. He had a wound vac on his elbow. And that was pretty cool because I saw them take the wound vac off. And then when she put it back on, she has she had a knack for wound vacs. And so the way she put it on was super satisfying. And then when she turned it on, it was like perfectly suctioned. And I guess this wound vac was kind of difficult because of the location on the elbow, but she got it like perfectly the first time. And then we went to another patient who we just took her vitals and she was totally fine. And then just kind of every patient we saw, we just talked to them about like how they're, what their needs are and how they're doing. And it was pretty simple for the most part. And then I think the last patient we saw, he is a new patient and his wife ended up kind of talking to us for the majority of the time, but he was considered a palliative patient, and his wife, we sat down with her for probably 30 minutes going over what home health is going to do for them and all of the services that they provide, and if they want a home health aide to help bathe the patient, all that kind of stuff. And the wife was very knowledgeable on her husband's care, looked over the medications that they had a list of, and just went over like all of the logistics with home care and how he was doing. And then we went in to see the patient and he seemed really well. Even the nurse didn't really feel like palliative care was like super, I guess the wife said that the doctors were considering hospice for her husband, but when the nurse assessed him, she was like, this is not like hospice worthy, but there's just a need for palliative care. So we assessed him and he was doing great. And then, yeah, I think every patient we saw, they were very grateful for us being there, coming into their home, and answering any questions. And the way the nurse kind of organizes her day is she gets to work and decides like which is the farthest pretty much, or which is the most kind of desperate need for care, and then she kind of organizes her day that way. She calls everyone, can I come around this time, can I come around that time? And I guess they do have problems where patients are like, you just can't come today, like I'm too busy, but it's like they have multiple patients, so it's like if you don't need us today, then you won't need us tomorrow, and then you're going to be off the list. And so it's kind of like cutthroat, like yes, they're willing to work with your schedule, but at the same time, there's multiple patients that they have to see, and, they have to make it work with everybody. So they kind of make that very clear when communicating with them. But yeah, it was a really good day. My nurse was awesome. I drove with her in her car. We talked about, what she likes, what she doesn't like. She's been a nurse for like 20 years, and you could tell that the day was very like free as far as scheduling, and we ended up getting done a little early, and she just goes home and charts everything. She said it's like 6 hours worth of charting, but she can go home and do it, which is cool. So yeah, it was a really interesting day. All of the patients were really great, and I just kind of got to see the world of home health. So yeah. Oh, I just had a hiccup. Yes. So anyway, it was a great day. I just woke up from a nap, so we're fine.